fucking monster, bro. Like shit like that, bro. Like that right here. You caught me right now. You got me caught. I'm gonna be a fucking monster, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to fucking God, bro.
Skip the nigga, but my hands fast. Let this gun blast. Toe tag a nigga, bitch ass. Where he go at? Now where he go at? Now where he go at? Skinny niggas, but my hands fast. Let this gun blast. Toe tag a nigga, bitch ass. Where he go at? Now where he go at? Now where he go at?
It's 10 o'clock.
It's late. You like that title? Wow. Let's wrap. You all ready? Good look, 808. I'm chilling. Let's get to it. You know what I'm ready to do.
A well-known rapper killed in a shooting in downtown Houston. So a representative for TaKeOFF, a member of the rap group Migos, confirming the news. So Shelby Rose has been live on this story all morning here with what happened at this bowling alley overnight. There are multiple pieces to this story.
Hey, yeah, there's a lot of information flowing, especially on social media, a lot of rumors going around. But right now, Houston police tells us that they don't really have a lot to go off that is confirmed at this moment. It has been a few hours since we've gotten the latest update from them, but we're still here waiting to see if we can get any information. I'm going to give you guys kind of a picture of where this crime happened. On the third floor, we're at Green Street in downtown. The third floor up there is 810 Billiards and Bowling. There was a private event, we're told by the Houston Police Department, there last night, as well as TaKeOFF, another member of the group Migos, Quavo, his uncle actually, was there as well. We're told this private party ended about 1 o'clock in the morning, but there's about a group, about 40 to 50 people that stayed until 2:30, and that's when the shooting happened. We don't know what exactly led up to this shooting, if there was any argument or anything that happened beforehand. But we do know that when police arrived, they did find TaKeOFF dead from a single gunshot wound, either to the head or neck. 2 other people were also transported to a hospital where they are currently in surgery. We don't really know any updated information on that. But as far as who did this and who is responsible for the murder of TaKeOFF, Houston police doesn't have any idea, and so they're pleading for the public's help.
And one thing I really, really love about the project is how you shining. I feel like, not like, of course you were shining before, but I feel like you were dancing on this one. Yeah. I feel like it was like it was always your time. It was your time to prove it. Is that something you had in your mind when you was going in recording?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Enough is enough. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? Laid back, but it's time to pop it. You know what I mean? Time to give me my flowers. You know what I mean? I don't want them later on when I ain't here.
God damn it.
You know what I mean? I want them right now. So.
Give me Let me just tell y'all.
Anybody read what an eyewitness said?
No, I didn't read that. I just talked to bro. When was out, just go for it.
It said, so Quavo was shooting dice, and he was getting his pockets broke off bad. So dude had an attitude and he tried getting aggressive with the wrong mob ties. Nigga, not gonna drop names, and dude got on his ass. Then somebody they was with jumped up, and that's when everybody bunched up. Then shots just started ringing, but they were coming from somebody Migos was with. But he was shooting wild and hit TaKeOFF on accident, and the other niggas start shooting back, and I think he got shot again, but ultimately his own niggas killed him, because when he got hit the first time, I seen his body just drop. Quavo was plexed up over some small shit. It really wasn't worth it. TaKeOFF was the coolest, quietest nigga in the room the whole time.
I'm going to tell you, this is what the TMZ says. TaKeOFF, one-third of Migos, is dead after an early morning shooting in Houston. Law enforcement sources and multiple witnesses tell us the fatal incident went down shortly after 2:30 a.m. That's when cops got...
You ready? What number I said earlier? I said 18, right? Well, he got 810 from the name of the bowling alley. So that's a whole nother 810. I mean, that's a whole nother 18. Like, but that's weird. Let's keep it going, though.
The call for a man shot at a bowling alley called 810 Billards and Bowling, Houston. We're told TaKeOFF and Quavo were there playing dice when an altercation broke out. That's when someone opened fire, shooting TaKeOFF, either in the head or near the head. He was pronounced dead on the scene.
Now, off top, appreciate it. When you hear albums, there's 5-6 songs nowadays. How many songs you have on that? 18. 18. How many songs you have on that? 18. 18.
810? 18. What number I said earlier, y'all? What number I said? But see, the weird thing about the number is I came with the number off of the date that we found out. Not Halloween. I came up with the date from one 11/1/2022. I came up with 18. But that's weird. But homie doing the same thing, and I ain't see this video. This video just premiered, y'all, 81 minutes ago. Look, if y'all was in here earlier, I said 18, not 810. 810 is the name of the bowling alley they was at, which is weird because that actual equals 810. Yeah, 11/01/2022 is the one I said, which is 12 and the 2 plus the 6.
TMZ Hip Hop has obtained footage from the scene, and you can see Quavo in an orange shirt and others gathered around TaKeOFF At first, they tried to move him, but then put him back down, and Quavo yelled for someone to get help. Police tell us 2 other people were shot and were taken to the hospital in private vehicles. It's unclear what their conditions are. Quavo was not injured. Just a couple of hours before the shooting, TaKeOFF posted a selfie from the bowling alley. Quavo had posted video earlier in the night, driving around Houston with Jazz Prince, who was celebrating his birthday. TaKeOFF, whose real name is Kirsnick Ball, was the youngest member of Migos. Quavo was his uncle, and Offset, his cousin. They came together as a group in 2008 in Georgia and began their platinum run as hit makers, dropping their first major hit, Versace, in 2013. They would hit number 1 on Billboard in 2016 with Bad and Bougie. Most recently, Quavo and TaKeOFF had released a project as the duo Feud. They had just released their latest music video, Messy, on Monday. TaKeOFF was 28 years old. Quavo had posted video earlier in the night, driving around Houston with Jazz Prince, who was celebrating his birthday. Quavo had posted video earlier in the night, driving around Houston with Jazz Prince, who was celebrating his birthday.
What they often do is have you set up someone close to you.
Now, Atlanta is not like LA. Like, what I mean by that, like, we had Boosie here last week, and Boosie really explained to us that he thinks that LA is the murder rap capital of the world. It was something that was very spooky, me hearing, but it was something that I had to analyze. And what I mean by that is, look at how many rap soldiers we lost in LA. Is that, because we just seen footage of you guys, and they said that, look, they taking their security very serious, and this was y'all walking through LA. Y'all see this footage?
Yeah, the listening party, I think we was going to, walking to the listening party, I seen it. I seen
it, right?
I said the security head was on swivel or something like that.
Yeah,
I
it's like, no, I ain't see that.
I seen it.
No, it's a compliment. So is that how you guys roll in LA?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but shit, we still know people. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this shit for 10 years, bro. We done seen all them folk. We done seen the sharks and all them people. You just gotta, like, make sure, you know, you just keep it real with people. You know what I'm saying? It's no gotta, like, it's just how we embrace people. You know what I'm saying? Embrace real niggas, embrace hood niggas, embrace the robbers, embrace everybody. It's like, it's just like, we don't, you know, like, it's something different. And when you just face that shit, man, you just gotta always be ready, because we look at our shit like we just always being young niggas that came from nothing, bro. We just always feel like we always paranoid from the start.
That's a good paranoid,
though. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta feel like a nigga on your ass at all times. And like, once you protect yourself and keeping that shit real, it just shit go a lot smoother.
That's a great way to think, though. I commend y'all on that. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to even think like that, because, you know, back in the day we think, we street niggas.
90s era, having security was
90s era was the corniest. It's the beautifulest era, but it's also a corniest era, because so many people go cases. So many people go cases trying to show that they are a real nigga. Like this generation right now, the shit they say in their music, I'm like, these niggas, they are written indictment.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy, and it's all about shit that you rap. Like, that shit manifests for real.
For sure.
We was rapping about Lambos and money and cars before we even had Lambos, and now we got Lambos. Like,
money.
You rap about death, you rap about smoking somebody, you rap about like
manifesting it.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what you.
I've never seen this era. Sorry, because
like, you can look us up. We never even said about taking nothing and die. We never even said about die today. Like, we don't.
I don't like that. I don't feel like that.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. That's how I am.
I don't feel like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Because I feel like Biggie and Pac kind of wrote their own death.
Man, you can't talk about that, bro. You can't talk about that.
That's very wise. That's very wise.
Don't rap about that, because you manifest you was going to the top. You rap about going to the top, and then you at the top.
Yeah.
Then you rap about that, you know what I'm saying?
KRS-One had a lyric back in the
days. I'm just a witness of manifestation. You feel me? I seen it, so I know the power of the tongue is powerful. You feel me? So what you speak come to existence. And certain things you
listen,
just don't
KRS
say.
had this lyric back in the days. He said, "Watch what you say, because you attract it." So if you rap for the gangsters, guess what's gonna come to your shit? Gangsters.
Social segment tonight, the new payola, a sour note that is tainting the rock music business once again. It was back in the 1950s that payola became a way of life in this industry. Record companies and promoters paying off disc jockeys to plug new releases and to boost sales. Today, the practice appears to be back. Plug new releases and to boost sales. There's paying off disc jockeys to plug new releases and to boost sales. Today, the practice appears to be back, with a group of independent promoters playing a major role. The federal authorities are investigating a possible mafia connection.
The Jimi Hendrix experience is over. The acid rock musician died today in a London hospital, apparently from an overdose of drugs. The death of another rock musician was disclosed today. Jim Morrison, 27 years old, lead singer of The Doors. His manager said Morrison died 6 days ago in Paris, either of a heart attack or pneumonia, but the death was kept secret to avoid a sensation.
Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of the enormously popular rock band Nirvana, is dead at the age of 27. More now from NBC's Brian Williams.
The international music industry is in shock with the death of rock star Michael Hutchence. The body of the INXS lead singer was discovered in a Sydney hotel room late this morning.
The Hollywood coroner says an overdose of narcotics is responsible for the death of the well-known rock singer Janis Joplin. Ms. Joplin was found dead in her bedroom last night.
Exactly what happened inside the iconic Beverly Hilton remains a mystery. Paramedics raced to the 4th floor and found a lifeless Whitney Houston inside her hotel room bathtub.
Both the Los Angeles Times and CBS News are both now reporting that Michael Jackson has died.
I don't think many people at first glance would regard being a popular musician to be particularly deadly. But looking at the data, we see something rather peculiar. According to a study conducted by the University of Sydney, which sampled 13,000 different artists across 7 decades, it was noted that a popular musician's life expectancy was up to 25 years shorter comparable to the general population. Furthermore, accidental death rates were between 5 and 10 times greater, suicide rates were between 2 and 7 times greater, and homicide rates were up to 8 times greater. The study suggests an average life expectancy for musicians that are male to be in the late 50s and women in the early 60s. At first glance, these numbers are hard to contextualize, so let me give you something to compare it to. This is the same life expectancy you'd expect to see for a police officer in Buffalo, which has been labeled the most dangerous city in New York. Or if we're talking about the 90s, a male musician has a shorter life expectancy than a coal miner in China in the 1980s. These numbers make it clear as day that the true price of fame in the music industry is up to 25 years off your life. But that's not to say that fame is this deadly across the board. In another study that sampled 1,000 different notable people from 2009 to 2011 from all professions, they found that those notable for their work in business, politics, or military generally lived longer than the national average, while writers, performers, and other creative types were only noted to have their lives shortened by a year. So what is going on with the music industry in particular? While we've established that the music industry is particularly deadly, the vast majority of the literature on the phenomenon seems to isolate this to just 1 or 2 things, such as the added stresses from fame or the ease of access to substance, or that creative types tend to be more predisposed to mental illness. While there's no denying that these factors definitely play a role in this phenomena, perhaps there's a bit more to this story. While much of the formal research on this topic scrutinizes what is wrong with the artist as an individual, perhaps it's better in this case to focus on what is going on within the industry as a whole. Because if you shift focus away from the individual to the industry, and you pause for a moment to think about the financial incentives of the music world, you'll notice something incredibly concerning. Music is one of the few industries on the planet where someone's work is worth significantly more to a company after their passing. Generations are remembered by the art that they leave behind, and the easiest way to be remembered is to be hailed as a legend from that time period. A premature death can take an artist from a good artist to a legend, which can in some cases solidify an artist's recording catalog to be a cash cow for decades to come. Think about this for a moment. When an artist signs his name on the dotted line to a record company, the record company will in many cases own all of the masters for the songs recorded under that contract. And when an artist signs to a major label, it's safe to say that their death is in many ways factored into the initial investment.
appreciate that. And when you give me credit alone. You can get him credit too, but not in the same conversation. You give me credit. Because we don't do the same work. But I appreciate you.
And in many ways, after an artist has peaked in popularity, there becomes an awkward point in their career where the artist is worth more to them dead than alive.
Mad at him due to the business that he did.
Yeah.
And I can't even say mad is that they didn't have a part of it. Let's be real. I'm gonna say it out there straight for everybody listening. My uncle didn't die. He was murdered. I feel the same thing about Prince. We're losing a lot of stars because you have to remember these are basically insurance policies. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. We're not talking about $100,000. We're not talking about $1 million. We're talking about billions of dollars. Notice that when my uncle dies, why do you hear all his music? Why is there a Motown cartoon out now? Okay. Well, obviously, when my uncle was alive, he wasn't giving the rights to anybody. But when he dies, all of a sudden.
Your little sister. Yeah, that's fine. You were supposed to be apparently performing at the Grammys last night, but you felt it wouldn't be appropriate. Tell me about that.
Well, it was actually, yeah, I don't know how it got out there that I was going to be performing at the Grammys, but everyone was, even on TV, they were announcing it, and I was watching TV saying, oh, I am. So my sister, Tammy, is my manager, we called and talked to Ken. And we asked what's going on. Are we supposed to do?
He's the producer of the
Yes, right. And Ken said, well, you know, we've been kicking it around back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And we sort of decided that we're just going to go with one singer and keep the thing tight. I, personally, was not really willing to go and sing I'm Every Woman. That's ridiculous. I felt it was ridiculous and very inappropriate.
Why did you feel that?
Well, as though, as much as I am spiritual and do celebrate death to some extent, you know, celebrate, I look at it more as like a graduation out of the flesh into spirit and then freeing one up. I'm taking this one kind of hard. You know, I know what an intelligent, bright, funny, witty, loving, sweet person and a great force musically. One of the greatest voices of all time.
I mean, that is indisputable. Let me ask you though, Shaka, this is what concerns me about what has happened here, is that so many of her close friends talk this way about her. And yet for the last 2 days of her life, she seemed to be on this huge party, surrounded by people who, you know, let's not use the word enabler, I don't know enough about it. Yeah. But there are people allowing her to drink champagne in clubs and so on. This is an addict that we're talking about, a well-known, well-documented addict. Right. As one of her close friends, how do you feel about what was being allowed to happen to her?
Okay, I have strong feelings about that. I, too, was an addict. I know if I were on a set of a movie, even now I've recovered for 7 years, we'd have made, if I was coming to a city like LA, we'd have made specific plans that I come in night before or day of performance. Especially if you've gone into proper treatment and gotten your situation handled. Yeah, that was the first big mistake. For her to come in an entire week before her performance at the party. I'd have never done that.
I was just shocked that it was happening. I was seeing all these pictures of her apparently falling out of clubs and covered, whether it was blood or wine, but certainly the fact that she was drinking in public in these clubs in Hollywood seemed to me a potential recipe for disaster.
It was. It absolutely was. And I stand by that. I stand on that. I stand on that. Whoever flew her out to perform at that party should have provided someone to be there to somehow just keep the riffraff out of the situation. just keep some of the dangerous people away.
Was she very vulnerable, do you think, even to the end, to that kind of situation?
I'm very vulnerable. I will never do cocaine again. I know that. But we are sensitive, highly sensitive people, entertainers.
This was Whitney Houston and Chaka Khan performing live on VH1's Divas in 1999. That song, I'm Every Woman, was a huge hit around the world for both of them. I'm back now with Chucky. I can tell you're angry about what's happened here. I mean, the blame game has begun. A lot of people want to blame Bobby Brown. A lot of people want to blame the music business. A lot of people want to blame everyone. What do you think?
Well, it's all of the above and a whole lot more, but it boils down to you. I was introduced to certain people and to certain opportunities to use recreational drugs, and it boils down to whether I want to do it or not. And she was a strong-willed, strong-minded girl, and I can't say that's anybody's fault, but...
Would she have gone down that route, do you think, without Bobby Brown in her life?
Well, if it would help somebody else. If she wants to get high. If you want to get high, you're going to get high.
And do you think she had that tendency anyway?
I think that we all, as artists, because we're highly sensitive people, and this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences, and at the drop of a dime.
I mean, how did you feel when you heard that Sony, I think it was back in the UK, had jacked the prices up of Whitney's album?
It reminds me...
Within an hour or so of her dying.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time I had a manager once who said to me, you're worth more money dead than alive. Okay, Whitney's mom, let's see.
How is she?
She's coping. But she's also, free. I'm sure many times had fear for her daughter's life. And I know my mother did, and my little girl did, and my son. So I know what this world that we're living in, and this business particularly, can do to one.
You were, I think, going to go to the Clive Davis party.
Yes.
It was a surreal event where Whitney's body was still in the hotel, and there was a sort of party where apparently half the room were in tears, the other half were kind of partying. What did you feel about that?
I thought that was complete insanity. And Bobby Christine was she's such a lovely little girl. She's such a lovely young woman.
Are you worried about her?
I'm concerned. I love her like she's my niece, and I said, the big thing we have to do now is make sure this whole scenario doesn't repeat itself, and that Bobby Christine is taken care of it.
I've got to leave it there, I'm sorry, but it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you so much.
Samhain is a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. Samhain translates to summer's end and is usually celebrated from October the 31st to November the 1st to welcome the harvest and acknowledge and greet the dark half of the year. In Celtic Ireland around 2,000 years ago, Samhain was the division of the year between the lighter half of summer and the darker half of winter. It is a spiritual new year for Druids and pagans, a time for reflecting on what has been and envisioning what will be, and a time to remember our ancestors, since during this time the veil between the realms of the living and envisioning what a time for reflecting on what has been and envisioning what will be, and a time to remember our ancestors being for Druids and pagans, a time for reflecting on what has been and envisioning what will be, and a time to remember our ancestors, since during this time the veil between the realms of the living and the realms of the dead is believed to be thinnest. Across these 3 nights and days, the world of the supernatural was believed to be more visible than at any other time period, This is a time when the line between our worlds was essentially blurred. Fae, spirits and sprites would be up to tricks and trouble. Spirits and the ghosts of the dead were also thought to roam the earth. Crops and animals would be sacrificed, offerings would be left out, and huge protective bonfires built and burned to appease deities and mischievous spirits during this time.
Samhain is one of 8 holidays celebrated in the Wiccan faith. It also falls on the same day as Halloween.
Mischievous spirits during this time.
Samhain is one of 8 holidays celebrated in the Wiccan faith. It also falls on the same day as Halloween. One of 8 holidays celebrated in the Wiccan faith. It also falls on the same day as Halloween.
Mischievous spirits during this time.
Samhain is one of 8 holidays celebrated in the Wiccan faith. It also falls on the same day as Halloween.
Samhain is a Celtic holiday. Halloween is a modern children's festival.
This is the season, the Halloween season, where a lot of these sort of evil themes, the occult, it's praised, it's given sort of lots of accolades in culture under the guise of fun. What do you make of this season? How do you respond to this season?
Well, Halloween, I really believe, opens demonic doors, and the season itself promotes divination that much more. It pushes out the Ouija board, witchcraft. You see it in stores, on social media, sweatshirts, CVS, Home Goods. Everywhere you go, you're looking at witches and goblins and ghouls and the scary horror movies. Even what you're seeing on Netflix, there was a Ouija board movie put out on Netflix. So the season really gears you up, gets ready to open those demonic doors. It's very spiritually dangerous.
Tay.
Yo.
What do you call him? You called him by his real name? Interesting.
Man, I just had a crazy ass dream, bro. About what? About some messy ass shit.
Messy.
I got walking through the honey house, little kid. I got walking through the honey house, little kid. I got walking through the honey house.
Well, and that's the question, right? Because a lot of
You said take? Oh. Oh, okay.
churches and a lot of Christians, and there was actually a survey out of pastors, and about 13% of pastors, I believe it was, were telling their churches to not engage at all, in Halloween. And then there were different measures, handouts, tracts, things like that. But it's interesting because within the church, there's a real debate about it. There are Christians who will say, well, is there a way to celebrate it? Maybe that's redeemed in some way. What do you say to those Christians who are sort of on the fence, or they're struggling to know whether it's the right thing to do?
Well, I think you have to think about, why are you trying to redeem something that is demonic? Why are we trying to redeem that? If it's the matter of that, the nostalgia, you want the kids not to be kept out of what the world is doing, we're called to be godly parents, not their friend.
Yo, in that video, that's not little younger versions of themselves faking like they gonna be on, is it?
And we don't need to change into costumes. There's nothing wrong with October 31st.
What they doing, gambling?
First, the Lord says to rejoice in the day the Lord has
they
made.
arguing about a dice game?
But it's Halloween itself.
Yes. Yo. Was they just arguing about a dice game, bro?
So why, as a kingdom follower, are you wanting to participate in something that could open a demonic door? We know that the devil is manipulative and he's a liar and he's sneaky. So something that might be
somebody said that earlier. Card game.
Seemingly innocent as bobbing for apples or having a little party or putting a costume. Don't be fooled by that. You don't want to entertain something that belongs to the...
Quavo had posted video earlier in the night driving around Houston with Jazz Prince, who was celebrating his birthday.
I feel like there's like a running joke with you being left off Bad and Bougie. Like, how do you feel when the group is succeeding, but sometimes people pinpoint, like, why isn't he here? Why isn't he turned up like the other two?
I ain't left off Bad and Bougie. You think I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Say again?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What you say?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What you say?
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Nah. I mean, it don't look like it.
500 on the chain. No game.
Yeah. But what's up with the chick on Twitter, though? What's up with the chick on Twitter? She said it wasn't about no dice game. She said it was about a dude joking like Quavo, like he wanted to fight Quavo. Wasn't it a boxer? Wasn't it some boxer right there, too? Who with me? Who know what I'm talking about? Said it wasn't about no dice. It was about a joke and Quavo wouldn't drop it. She went live, Danny. What she say? Telling it all. He said something to Quavo about playing him in basketball and the way it sounded from the video. Oh, she did say something about basketball and fighting. Both of the chicks went on IG Live. Oh, man. So now we got... Yo, why Texas so fast to have a lot of bloggers immediately out and about talking? In the videos, he mentioned disrespect. The other lady said the beef started in the 5th Ward. What she mean? What she mean though? Like they was already beefing before they got to the spot? They don't seem right? That's what somebody said earlier. They actors. That's what somebody said earlier. Real rap. When you're not in town, you gotta sit down. type of old pimp talk is that, man? Yes, she said Quavo was trying to defuse it as it was already hostile before they got there. Everybody already know the rules, bro. You going somewhere out of bounds, bro. That ain't gonna work, right? Somebody needed the bag. I mean, you seen what they just said about Halloween? They ain't put you in that mix. It's a short clip. Nah, I ain't tripping. So it's not about the dice game. It's not about the dice game. Gotta find me a dark blunt. Everybody doing their part. But it's a Nipsey Hussle situation, y'all. Is it a walk-off? So they selling a walk-off. So Jay Prince, essentially, it couldn't happen in Atlanta. It'd be too hot. That's their hometown. So they do it out of town, but the secret could be kept. With a group of people that got it obligated, we keep secrets. We know how to keep it in-house. It'll be under control. We got the spot and all that. So essentially, all we need is security in pocket and the people we bring to the spot. Definitely got the law on their team. Definitely got the law on their team. You can't claim you run a city without having the law on your side, to be honest. Like, which means you got some guys that's with it. It's easy to get the law. Especially when you're a businessman. Like, when you got businesses, you legally can buy the law. For real. Like, literally. I got clubs and events and I got artists. I need y'all to do work for me so I have a reason to talk with y'all, like on a business angle, right? But on a side note, you mean, it's Reggie Wright. You got Reggie Wright down there in Texas. I'm on require this. Prove it. notice I stay away from using that terminology because it's like, yeah, that's so heavy. It's like, oh yeah, prove it. So it's like I'm familiar, but yeah, I believe it's true though. I keep it real. I don't think you can just do it. I think you got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I think, put it like this: somebody that know what they're doing don't have to actually be active. I think they definitely they just gotta be around it. So say for instance, one of these people could just move into a city where it's active and just get the right house and just sit up in there and just wait for it to go down and kind of just conjure it up. I think, I got a feeling if they get their timing right, they might be able to tap in. Real rap, and I ain't joking. Yo, why we do this on YouTube? Why we come in and say, you just came in and just ratted on another dude and said he was a rat. The channel exposed the killer. Did y'all notice I ain't try to expose the killer? I was not trying to expose no killers. Nope. That is not my job, but I told you one thing earlier. Houston got any good artists that come out right now? I can't call it, but I mean, if me and you both don't know off the top, of our head, then that means no. Oh yeah, hell yeah, yo. Fucking Travis Scott. Superscript. Did that event happen in his hometown? The concert? To, certain people don't represent the state they're from. They exceeded. Kanye exceed Chicago. Lil Uzi Vert exceed Philly. Travis Scott exceed Houston. Trippie Redd, Ohio. List goes on. Eminem, Detroit. It's like the place don't sell the person, so it's like you don't attach him to it. It's like every time you hear it, it's like, oh yeah, but it still don't mean nothing. It's like, yeah, that's where you're from, but his career is not dependent on it. You feel me? They could have actually switched it. You know what I mean? It's a couple rappers where they could switch it. It's like, it don't matter. They could have told us Travis Scott was from somewhere else, Cali, Atlanta. We'd have accepted it. He really got like a neutral. He not selling. Besides him actually stamping Houston with like symbology, his sound and his visual is like a melting pot of everything. So I ain't gonna, you know, he one of them. That's my opinion, though. I ain't trying to understand. I'm really not a fan of his music, though, to be honest. I ain't listened to a lot of. They all left before police show. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm leaving before the law show up, bro. I don't like the law. I don't like the law, bro. I'm getting out of there. I'm talking about every time somebody say, yeah, such and such. I could be just pulling up and somebody say, hell yeah, yo. Yo, they was just beefing over there. Yo, somebody called the law. All right, bet. Yo, like, yo, they pop up sometimes, bro. Shit just ain't, you know what I mean? Shit just don't go how you planned. Sometimes you just got me. So I don't blame them for that. I mean, nah, I never been to Houston. Never been to Houston. Even my mans. Nah. No. Nah. I'd have had to been like, I'd have had to leave my man and the law coming. I either had to committed a crime right then and there, or I got a search warrant. You seen the video? Some dude popped it up. A video of the actual action, bro? What you saying? Damn, yo, the word act is even in action. God damn. Fuck. Like, action packed. Yeah. And we wondering if they acting. It's action packed. That phrase is crazy. Pause. LaDana, whatever evidence you said you found. Well, not evidence, but news from the net. The lady claims she just left the police department. Oh, hell no. She lying. Yo. Who believe it? People don't do that on the internet, do they? Like, literally say, I just went in there and told them. They have the video live when it popped off. Ooh. The internet? Leonard says, I think Quavo and his label QC is involved. Leonard Briggins said it. Leonard Briggins at 10:52 said out of his mouth that he thinks Quavo and his label QC was involved. That's what Leonard said. Leonard Briggins. Oh. How funny. QC love TaKeOFF. What is this? TMZ posted a couple videos of the before. Oh, they bought that shit. Ugh. They dirty. You trying to dodge saying that? No, you good, you good. I mean, they done stamped it. You can't even dodge that no more. No Cat made a post. What he talking? Take off Freemasons. Whoa. Oh yeah. Quavo ducked. Yo. Jamo, they do. Slicker than that. They got him in spots where you won't even, like, first off, you're not going to come in there playing. And then second of all, to even know where they at, they be moving it around. Like, you never know where it's at. It be closed invite. So, yeah, they be doing them closed joints. Them ones right there is the ones that niggas do knowing they can always sting niggas. That's like a... That's a show off. To be honest, bro, it's a tool. It's a tool, to be honest. It's a tool. Alright, let me show you something. To be honest, you're not supposed to shoot dice out of bounds. I think shooting dice out of bounds, you asking for trouble because you gave somebody home field advantage. See, normally round the way, everybody got home field advantage. We're not going to do no dirt to you. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody might try to pick up, cheat a little bit, but like line you up all the way, nah. Or it'll be blatant. Yo, what happened? We got a problem and it's going to be a fight or it's going to be, So, what up, Kurt? So, I'm going to keep it real. Said Quavo passed out. They had to help him. Everyone that was around the family was checked for straps before they being allowed in. Allegedly, they was the only people. Quavo, the director. Y'all ain't see he direct all the videos? Disrespectful punch. After the argument, that itch got ugly fast. 8 to 9 shots. What you mean disrespectful punch? What kind? All punches. Who been bragging? Oh, he been bragging about the director. Yeah, look at all the videos. It say he the director. Him and whoever the director, another dude is, must be the videographer. But that's important because to put your name on it every time, that means you really want that spot. Like, all right, when I shoot a video for an artist, right? Out of me shooting all these videos, only like 3 or 4 of them hit me and said, yo, since I told you to do this part like this, and I told you to do this part like this, yo, you could put my name on there for the credits, for directing. And I'm like, what? Now, I'm going to tell you when the person deserved the credit. When it's really his whole idea, and he understands the concept of directing a music video, and I technically just turn it to the cameraman. Now, technically, He deserved that credit. Now it's a lot of rappers got the whole vision in their head. They just need to articulate it. Most of them get lazy and let the videographer do it. You understand? So he knowing how to direct and understanding it. Once you shoot like 2-3 music videos, you should get the concept because you thinking about your next music video. So you like, oh, I see how it works. So I can make something, put it together too. So every time you sit down with a videographer, what they do is they send you treatments. Technically, you learn it as you go.
It's 11 o'clock.
Because they send you a treatment, a storyboard treatment and all this. So you literally got this shit in your email. You could go back and look back at preset templates already where somebody sent it and they went to school. You know what I mean? So imagine. TaKeOFF was high as hell. If you really be, getting busy though, you ain't never really that out of your mind unless you had something new. Like the girl recording the dude to her left got snuffed. The girl got snuffed. It was already dry beef. Dry beef. What's wet beef? 10 blunts every hour. Yeah. Like, I be smoking the whole time I'm talking with y'all, yeah. Like, every time I've been talking with y'all, I've been smoking. Unless it went out. For real. Or I'm rolling up. Like, no, it's a habit. Yo, anybody that didn't, if you picked up your grass habit and you was outside and you play the studio, you pick up this back-to-back habit because you spend long periods of time with nowhere to go that won't allow you to smoke. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you always in spots where you can smoke and you're not going to work, so you smoking. Unless you, for the most part, if you don't smoke or you got probation and stuff like that. But once, a person got that habit. Now, people who smoke heavy, if they get to doing something with themselves, you ain't going to see them like, you know what I mean? Like, once I get to doing something for real, I'm not going to keep sitting there stressing myself about the blunt. Nah. So it's crazy. Now, if you don't smoke that much, you only need to hit that blunt like twice and you ready to be smacked. But Offset hasn't posted TaKeOFF. It's weird. They might have really been beefing, bro. They might have really had a falling out. Some people take it serious. I ain't really keep up with their separation, but yeah. Not everybody runs social media. Well, if you famous, you might want to leave the stuff that's really personal to you off the internet. Like, you might not want to put your emotions on there. Now, he might come put something up there. They keep sending the CBD. Nah, don't sleep, bro. Don't sleep. Jamo, it's mad strains out here. That's a real strain, but it's just not what you want. I'm going to keep it real. What we want is really like a 10% of the total amount of grasses out there. They perfectly fine. The quality is there. It's just not that what we looking for. We looking for them certain tiers, and it ain't the percentage either. It's not the percentage. Believe it. Man, y'all internet guys, what happened, Bilal? What happened, Dan? TaKeOFF. You post TaKeOFF. Who says he got to post him? What happened? My only problem, I have is it was funny when Quando was crying when his close friend died, but it's sad when Quavo do it. Rest in peace, TaKeOFF. But keep same energy. On that Drink Champs, they taking kind of shots at Offset, like when they asked Cardi or Nicki. One of them was like, "Oh, being funny," and they both picked Nicki. Everybody is not into social media like that. Yeah. I don't know about that. I think a lot of people probably gonna go Nicki on that one. It's funny because Rondo was trolling King Rondo. Quando turned himself into in the interview, I might hard stamp Nicki because I'm offended because I feel like Cardi B they literally made a Spanish Nicki. Real rap. Like, yo, if you already you already liked Nicki Minaj by the time Cardi B came out, yo, it was like a little offensive. Like, yo, they literally like mimic Shorty. Cardi over Nicki. No. Morello, both. On the strength of she like my little homegirl around the way they be having the grass for sale. On that tip, yeah, because I want to see her win. But keep in mind, Nicki Minaj used to look like Glorilla. Yeah, run tell that. Run tell that. Yeah, time out. So once upon a time, it was a girl. Her name was Nicole. She was skinny, slim, straight back, straight front. You feel me? Everything lined up. You dig? Slim, real slim, right? But look, she had dreams of being a hip hop star, one of the biggest in the world. All she had to do was get her lyrics right. So she hooked up with some players from New York because they knew how to get inside this music industry. They knew it for sure way, back door. All she had to do was sign over a percentage. And she went through a whole bunch of managers in the early parts of her career till she popped up on this one and thought, you know what? I know where to take you to go get a butt. Alright, I don't want to really go down there. We gonna have to have this discussion one day soon, though. But if Nicki was using ghostwriters, right, it get into the situation like Lil Wayne, where it's like, if you can get yourself in a position where as though someone is willing to pay somebody to write raps for you, that's a serious job right there, right? That take a lot. But look, hold up. You actually learn how to perform the raps that someone else wrote for you, and that person doesn't have a successful career. Oh, nah. You nice. You nice, y'all. You nice. I'm telling y'all, because I could write, we could do this all day. We could take a slick ass rap from somebody and give it to somebody that don't know how to rap, right? And tell them it's their job to learn the raps by heart and just come and show up and be able to perform that shit and look like an artist. Yo, most people are dropping the ball, even with money on the line. They can't. They ain't gonna be able to figure it out. They ain't gonna know how to move. You know how much elements to this shit it is? Like, to actually, that shit on the paper is one thing, bro. But being able to know how to interact with the internet, fucking stand on the stage. How to fucking even deal with the paparazzi? Yo, a lot of these things ain't normal. I'll keep it real. So that little ass rap he wrote, somebody wrote, that shit cool. But somebody write for you. Yo, you before you get a writer, yo, you be better off finding somebody to get your look. I know. I seen it 808. That's why they won't let me talk. I seen it. They won't let me talk in them rooms, bro. They're not gonna bring me up. Mysteriously, everyone knows who I am. Like, you would think it'd be like, oh, I ain't never been in there. They'll let me up. Hell no. I'm telling you, that's when I start noticing. First, I thought they ain't like me. Nah. It's a small circle of people who actually be talking on these apps. When you go in these rooms, look at their stages. A lot of them won't even bring a lot of people up, but even when there's a lot of people, really look at who up there. It's the people who are in a part of the circle, and they're people who don't talk. Real rap. Examples. Yo. But what's up with a person hitting their own man, though? Inside? Was they inside a building? Except somebody hook, but I'm not letting nobody write my verse. That's because you can write your verse. Well, hold up. I know. See, this is how people let people write their verse. When somebody nicer than you. See, if you real rappers don't get people to write verses for them. They go in the studio with writers. So it's not like someone's writing it for you. The beat come on, and the person's session that it is, that's got the budget, he's picked the beat. Yeah, I'm rocking with this. He look at the writers. They like, all right, bet, say less. Now they know I'm ready to come up with something to go with this right here, because yo liking it. And if as soon as we come up with it, if he like it, we gonna go ahead and get in, and that's a placement for me. So the money is put on it like a bounty when you come in. So look, you will get a phone call like this. Yo, we gonna have a session later on. Yo, you should pull up. Now, if you're a writer, you know what this mean. This mean there's money on the line. Depending on what level this person at, he gonna have a budget. And if I write something slick in there, that's possibly a platinum plaque in a couple months or a year. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna run over there and go see what the hell going on, because I ain't got nothing else to do. You feel me? Yeah, man. And depending on who it is, it might. So, like, say for instance, I'm the writer. The producer hooked up with Nikki. I ain't never even heard of Nikki. I don't care about it, right? So look, the producer in there with the beat, she liked the beat. She asking the producer, yo, what you think I should do? He like, I mean, I could call my peoples. They get busy with this type shit. They write all the time. She like, bad, call them. I call you. Yo, come through. I got artists in here trying to work. You could get some writing credit. That's how it works. You already rapped the song. You shopped it to a whole bunch of A&Rs, right? The A&R liked it his pocket. He was waiting for another artist. So guess what he do? He give the song to another artist, tell the other artist, yo, redo this. Then he hit you. Yo, remember that song? You like, what song? Yo, that song you gave me was on a CD, woo, woo, woo. You emailed it to me or whatever. You trying to sell that? Like, yo, that song on my mixtape. He like, yeah, nah, but is you trying to sell it? That's cool. But we ready to do something totally different with it, you know what I mean? It's all business. Whoever. Oh. Really? Yeah. Did y'all know that Tupac had a ghostwriter? Send it to my email, jump out. EBANFLIMS at Yahoo. Offset not supposed to say nothing right now. For one, if he say something to make him look soft. Two, if he say something to make him look like he clout chasing. Three, if he say something, it's just bad timing. He could, if you really close to somebody, yo, you going on social media and not obligated. That's an industry standard for clowns. Not no street shit though. Nah, I really know yo. I dare somebody ask me why I ain't. Fuck is you talking about? Mind your goddamn. You feel me? But nah, you can't say that, bro. There's no way nobody can say nothing like that. That is, I don't even think that's determinable. It ain't them. Don't be so sure.